Stay tuned because Good Sports is coming up next. Kansas City Sports and Fitness is the magazine for sports fans in KC. Inside, we cover local sports and local teams, from pro to peewee and everything in between. And this month's free copy of Kansas City Sports and Fitness includes the Surplus Exchange College Sports Report. You'll find Kansas City Sports and Fitness all over KC at places like the Kansas City Ice Center. And it's free, so pick one up today. This show was recorded live on Saturday, October 12th.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show. Now, this segment is presented by Kansas City Chiropractic. Kansas City Chiropractic understands the high-pressure demands placed upon individuals in the workplace and the athletic demands people place on their bodies, and they offer the care that can relieve pain and stress and improve overall health. You can call them at 816-753-4600 or visit kansascitychiropractic.com. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Fish. I'm the publisher of Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine, and you are watching or listening to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show. Today, we're coming to you from the Kansas City Ice Center, which is located on Johnson Drive, 2 miles west of 435, where you can now ice skate on their indoor rink or inline skate on their outdoor pavilion. Call 913-441-3033 or visit their website, kcicecenter.com, for more details on classes and public skates. Plus, you can find out more about their leagues and learn to skate and learn to play hockey programs on their website as well. And watch for news on when the outdoor pavilion will be converted over to an ice rink. It is coming up in mid-November. Now, before we get started with the show, I want to tell everyone that our current issue of KC Sports and Fitness is available free at over 700 locations. And this month, with our current issue, Kansas City Sports and Fitness continues to celebrate our 16th year as the magazine for sports fans in KC. Now, in our current issue of KC Sports, we feature our Chiefs Report presented by Bud Light. This month, we feature the #1 draft pick of the Chiefs, Eric Fisher, plus the social media coverage the Chiefs are getting every game thanks to their winning ways. And in our Hockey Report presented by the Kansas City Ice Center, where we are today, we write about the outdoor pavilion here and all of the hockey that will be played on the indoor rink and the outdoor pavilion once it becomes an ice rink in November. You can visit our website, kcsportspaper.com, to find a link to a list of locations where you can find Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. And you can actually check out a PDF of the entire issue on our website as well. And now joining us here at the Kansas City Ice Center is Dr. Lynn McIntosh from Kansas City Chiropractic. Dr. McIntosh is a board-certified chiropractor. She's licensed in Kansas and Missouri. In addition to being licensed to provide general chiropractic care, Dr. McIntosh is a certified chiropractic sports physician. She works with athletes from multiple disciplines on specific sports-related injuries. And Dr. McIntosh is also a writer that is featured in each issue of Kansas City Sports and Fitness. Welcome to the show, Dr. McIntosh.
Thank you, Steve. Boy, I tell you what, we cleared out now, but there was so many people in here that have just gone in to skate. That's really wonderful.
Yeah, they have their learn to skate and learn. They had learned to play hockey a little bit earlier. They have learn to skate going on right now, and then they'll have some figure skaters out there in a little bit, and then they'll have their public session going on. So it's constantly something going on here at the KCI Center. And then
great.
Once they turn that one over there, the outdoor pavilion into ice, it's just a blast.
I remember last year when it was just busy all the time, and really looked like everybody was having a great time out there. And they have that fire pit, which I just thought for the spectators was the best part for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a wonderful thing, and it's so much fun to skate outside. And, of course, somebody that used to play hockey, I'm envious of all the adults that are still playing hockey, even at a recreational level, to be able to go play a game outside. Of course, at 5 below or something like that. It doesn't matter. The spectators may have an issue, but the players don't have an issue. It's a blast.
Oh, that's good.
It is a blast. So we're going to talk today about something that is really important. And I don't know, Dr. McIntosh, I know you read some information, but there was a recent PBS documentary called League of Denial, the NFL Concussion Crisis. It sheds a lot of light on the issues of football and concussions and the life-altering changes that a concussion can create for an individual. And I got to get to my camera. I'm running the show here today, and I had it on you. I apologize for that. So
that's fine.
We'll start again. No. Just recently, about a $765 million settlement was recently handed out to about 4,500 retired players, saying that the NFL fraudulently concealed the danger of their, the danger to their brains that football could create. Well, of course, they deny that.
Of course,
but
it's very. You're getting hit in every game, so it is very hard to argue that you had no idea. Now, the difference is they made it very clear that you just sucked it up and went back in and played. It didn't matter what your symptoms were. You got to be tough. You got to do this. And it's very difficult because even though there have been lots and lots of changes in the NFL this year because of this, and so now you're having guys, what do we have, 7 per week out now? That for a head or concussion injury. And that just never was before. And it wasn't that they weren't getting hit just as hard or harder. It was that they are admitting that they maybe have a head injury at this point. But what we are seeing, though, even with all these changes in the NFL, it's not trickling down into necessarily the colleges and the high schools especially. And the equipment, while it's so much better in toughness and hardness and everything else, there's no way for it to stop a concussion. Because the concussion itself here's the brain. And it's inside the box. And the box is a skull. And so it's not, but you need the helmet. I didn't mean to say that.
Right.
The helmet is going to stop you from having a fractured skull. Lots of other things. I mean, it's very important. You must wear it. Absolutely. That it just, whenever I watch a game and if a guy's helmet comes off, that you're just ill because what if that other guy comes and lands on him and stuff like that. But when you're inside the helmet, so here's the brain, and then there's the box, and even though you have the helmet, it's the forward motion or the torsion motion of what's happening to the brain bouncing against the front and the back of the skull. And it's not a bruise. We always think it's a brain bruise just because that's something we can understand. I mean, every muscle, everything else, you see a bruise, you understand that there's an injury. It's really the loss of function. It's the neurons and the way everything works, it's really a shortage in the electrical system. So, because that's what your brain is. It's got all the connections, and so you're seeing a slowdown in the actual nerve function and the brain function. And so when you have somebody come off on the sidelines, I mean, you see them get hit. We just to say, oh, you got your bell rung, and you had the headache and, this. Yes. That is a problem. But the reason that it's such a problem when we see how bad a concussion is if they return to play, there's a thing called second impact syndrome. And so there is swelling, even though it's not really a bruise, but there's brain swelling. And so now you have less room inside your box. And so when you have less room and you hit it again, or it has that, that bouncing where it's separating connections. So all the synapses and all the connections in the brain are, having a disconnect.
Right.
Then it happens again, and so it's already got swelling in there. There's really no room for it to go. So now that swelling actually is pressing on the brain itself. And so you get much, much worse injuries, and it takes much less force the second time around.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I don't think that guy coming running at me is going to go, I'm going to hit you less hard the second time. That doesn't happen.
Coach isn't going to like that.
Right.
So for the parents out there, and the coaches out there
Sure.
of the Pop Warner leagues or something like that.
Yeah.
What are some of the symptoms? What are some of the things if a kid comes off?
Right.
What are some of the things you should look for?
There's
in
an
that
absolutely
kid?
great website called Heads Up, and it's the NFL is sponsoring it, and it's really good because it talks about not just what you're going to see in your high school kid, but what you're going to see in younger children, even down to toddlers, where if they're in something where they hit their head. So let's start there. If with the youngest kids, it's going to be we're super tired or we can't sleep. We don't sleep well. Really needy, whereas it used to be that they just want to hang out and that's it. Irritable and crying and just not right. I mean, so if you see that, if they don't want to play with their favorite toy, they're just not right and stuff. So they're not going to be able to necessarily express, verbalize what's going on with them or tell you they have a headache or that. You're going to see everything where they're rubbing the head, this where it hurts because that's kids rub pretty much that. But it's just a total change in behavior, change in sleep patterns. So as you get older, same things, but now you're going to be able to know that you are nauseous, you have a headache, you have super tired, light bothers you, sound bothers you. And so that's really your first. You may or may not have lost consciousness, and you still are going to have a concussion, whether you do it or not.
You may or may not have a headache. Most likely you're going to have a headache.
Most of the time you have a headache, but it doesn't mean that it's immediate.
Right.
It develops over the next day or two. And then it becomes extremely serious in an emergency situation if that headache continues to get greater. It just continues to build. It's going to, and then this is going to be over the next few days. And so it just gets very excruciating. And so, that is a reason to go to the ER or to, the hospital at some point. If you're looking at someone and they have a difference in pupil size or their pupils are very large, that is an ER situation. If you have, there's vomiting often will happen with a concussion. If it's repeated, it's a much more serious condition.
Sure.
Nauseousness pretty much comes and stays for a while. Then you'll have the sleepiness. And when we talk about keeping people up, it's not so much that it's because the brain now needs to heal. And so it wants to shut down. And so all the energy, like if you're going back and you start working out, you are using up energy that your body would be using to heal the brain.
I see.
So, but it needs a rest. Just as if a muscle was torn, this needs to rest. So it also means being in a quiet place. That's what the military has now done. If they know someone's got a concussion, they take them to the quiet room, and this after they've come back from their mission. And it's a reduction of as much stimulus as possible. So not being on your computer, not being on your phone, not listening to music, not doing things that that doesn't tax your brain. No, it really just needs to rest.
Right.
And so reading is difficult. Reading takes a whole lot of brain function. And so you just really don't want to tax it as you would anything else, like you wouldn't tax a muscle. So your other severe, we talked about the difference in the pupils, the multiple vomiting, you can't wake them up. And that's why when we talk about waking people up, a lot of that is just evaluating where they are. They may, right as soon as they got hit, they saw stars. Now when they're trying to answer your questions, it's slow. You're asking them something and it takes a while. Over the next few days, you're going to see a lot of irritability, really lose their temper, can't, things that, just no big deal. But now they just are so irritated, lose their temper. This is a much more severe concussion. Memory loss. And I don't mean just it could be just for a short period, but then it's more severe if we've lost, they don't remember even coming to practice,
Right.
They don't remember the event that happened. That happens pretty frequently. But then now, but they don't remember showing up at the game. They don't remember what happened that afternoon. So then you're going to have both memory loss before the event and after the event. They're different. The slurred speech, much more severe. Depression is huge because it alters a lot of the different functions in the brain.
Well, one of the things that I saw in this documentary, which was on PBS, and I think you can see it online because that's where I actually watched it, League of Denial, the NFL's concussion crisis, is they said the impact that these players have is like getting hit with 20 Gs, and over the course of a season, they'll get hit 1,000 to 1,500 times.
Wow.
Like that. And you know, I mean, a kid's maybe it's not going to be as severe as that, but the kid's is smaller.
But his brain also isn't fully formed yet, so now you've got all kinds of other things with that.
Exactly. So what's the criteria to figure out how to get back in the game? I mean, you know, that's the push. I know people that you know, they're saying the way their kids are going to get their college education is by playing football and moving on, you know, and things like that. Or there are, and football is not the only one, but there are many other sports where concussions, I mean, you know, we've talked about this in the past, that girls in soccer,
68% more concussions than boys.
Right. So there, you know, for you soccer moms and dads out there that have daughters that are playing, there's that concern as well. So when can mom and dad say, okay, it's, and really mom and dad shouldn't be the one that's saying yes.
I was like, well,
or the coach. But when is it okay for them to say, okay, it's back? You know, you're back.
You really don't want to see, again, that sluggish behavior. You don't want to see memory problems. You don't want to have that irritability. You want basically everything that your kid appears pretty normal, like everything's functioning, and not just. You know, and a lot of people will fake it. And, of course, the kids want to play, and they're going to fake it, too. But so you know your kid, and if they're the mood stabilization is a big one. So if that's just different, you know, and it can be different in a lot of ways. Typically, it is more depressed. Typically, it is more irritable, all those kinds of things. But it can be other things, too, basically different. We can function. I mean, and you can recover and you can do things, but usually you'll see a complaint of headaches, and if the headaches persist, that's a huge problem.
Sure.
If nauseousness persists, and of course you want to do all the other things, keep them hydrated, everything else, because you don't want to mistake one thing for something else.
Right.
You would hope that you would have a good coach, good sideline, someone to help you also assist with that. Don't be afraid to take your kid to the doc either, because it's definitely something you want to pay attention to.
Well, I would say it'd be a requirement to get a clearance from a doctor before you get back. Well, we're talking with Dr. Lynn McIntosh from Kansas City Chiropractic. She's going to come back in our second segment, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the other things, the article that she's written in the current issue of KC Sports and Fitness. Right now, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching or listening to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness magazine show. We are coming to you from the Kansas City Ice Center, which is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. I am Steve Fish. We'll be right back. Go online and watch Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports Magazine television show. It's available on the Good Sports KC YouTube channel and features local interviews with local athletes and experts covering sports, health, and exercise topics of importance to KC fans. And be sure to pick up your copy of the new KC Sports and Fitness Magazine, featuring the Bud Light Chiefs Report, the Surplus Exchange College Sports Report, the Cargo Largo Health and Fitness Report, and the KC Ice Center Hockey Report. KC Sports Magazine is always free, so pick one up today. These days, we're all so busy, and many of us ignore our health and let stress turn into chronic pain. Dr. Lynn McIntosh of Kansas City Chiropractic can provide you with the proper care to relieve pain and stress and improve your health and get more out of life. To make an appointment with Dr. McIntosh, call 816-753-4600. Most insurance plans are welcome. And this month, save $25 on Class 4 laser treatment when you mention KC Sports and Fitness. For more information on Dr. McIntosh and Kansas City Chiropractic, go online at kansascitychiropractic.com.
With the current trend to live a greener lifestyle, many people and businesses now recycle their electronics. At the Surplus Exchange, your e-waste will never go to a landfill or incinerator, nor will we allow e-waste to be shipped overseas. Some companies employ this tactic and end up polluting other countries with our waste. All materials are safely tracked, destroyed, or reclaimed right here in the U.S. The Surplus Exchange is Kansas City's link between industry, charity, and the environment. To find out more, visit surplusexchange.org.
Sign up now for Learn to Skate and Learn to Play hockey classes at the Kansas City Ice Center. Plus, come out to a public skating session or call them to schedule a party or group rental. And watch for news on when the outdoor pavilion will be converted to an ice rink in mid-November. The KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. For more information or to register for a camp or class, visit kcicecenter.com or call 913-441-3033. CMS Nutritionals is a new supplement store on College and Quivira. Stop by and talk to the experts at CMS Nutritionals today to find the right quality supplements for your needs. And with your coupon in KC Sports, save $5 on 4Life Immune Support products. Plus, register now for upcoming free seminars. To learn more about their products, visit cmsnutritionals.com. Call 913-469-3665 or stop by CMS Nutritionals on College and Quivira. Mafia's Meal on the Go is a great lunchtime choice. Get a 10-inch one-topping pizza and a 20-ounce drink from Mafia Mike's at 87th and Lackman and Mafia Pizzeria Southside at 127th and Metcalf. Great pizza and a great offer you can't refuse.
Mark Twain, Walt Disney, even Abraham Lincoln, they all filed bankruptcy. Debts can overwhelm anyone. I'm Jeff Wagner of WM Law, Kansas City's premier bankruptcy law firm. If you can't pay your bills or your mortgage, we're here to help. You can schedule a free consultation right now. Call 1-855-DON'T-WORRY. Stop those bill collectors. With 4 Kansas City locations, we've helped over 11,000 families through tough financial times. 1-855-DON'T-WORRY.
When it's trophy time or time to present an award or medal or a gift, contact Overland Park Awards. Need an idea for a trophy? We did for the Army High School Coach of the Week Award, and we found it at Overland Park Awards. Come visit their showroom at 7514 Floyd, 1 block west of Metcalf and 75th, or go online to opawards.com or call Terry at 913-649-3635. At Overland Park Awards, they sweat the small stuff so you don't have to. Welcome back to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show, the show that complements Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. I am Steve Fish. Today we're coming to you from the Kansas City Ice Center, which is located on Johnson Drive, 2 miles west of 435, where you can now ice skate on their indoor rink or inline skate on their outdoor pavilion. You can call 913-441-3033 or visit their website, kcicecenter.com, for more details on classes and public skates. Plus, you can find out more about their leagues and learn to skate and learn to play hockey programs on their website as well. And watch for news on when the outdoor pavilion will be converted over to an ice rink. It is coming up in mid-November. Now, in our current issue of KC Sports and Fitness, check out our college football report presented by the Surplus Exchange. This month, we talk with Mizzou's Lucas Vincent, who is a junior, and he's also from Olathe. We talk with Wildcat center B.J. Finney and Jayhawk quarterback Jake Heaps. And this month, in our U.S. Army High School Football Coach of the Week program, we honor Chad Fregon from Liberty High, Gene Weir from Olathe North, John Holmes from Bishop Miege, and Eric Thomas from Lee Summit High School. Their photo and a write-up on each coach and the team appear in our October issue, and watch for more honorees in the weeks to come. You can pick up your copy of KC Sports and Fitness at over 700 locations, including Mafia Pizzeria Southside, Old Shawnee Pizza, Eagles Landing Golf Course, and, of course, right here at the Kansas City Ice Center. And now you can also view Good Sports on YouTube. All you have to do is search for the Good Sports KC channel. And we are talking with Dr. Lynn McIntosh from Kansas City Chiropractic. Dr. McIntosh, tell us where you're located and give us all your pertinent information on how people can reach you.
Okay, we're on the west side of the plaza at 4510 Bellevue, and it's 816-753-4600. You can call us. You can find us online at our website, kansascitychiropractic.com. You can find us on Facebook.
And one of the things that we want to just talk a little bit about is, you're a big Chiefs fan. You're excited about
my gosh.
what's going on.
This is just fantastic. What it's been since 2003, since we have had a winning, this many games, this record, 5-0.
This winning spirit that
Yes.
we have here in Kansas City, that's just exciting the fans. And as we're recording the show, we're recording it the Saturday before they play the Raiders. So
Yes.
we're hoping that it's a 6-0, and we'll see if we can predict,
It's pretty
another
exciting.
win. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
pretty exciting.
Absolutely. Now, Dr. McIntosh also writes in Kansas City Sports and Fitness, and you can read her features in each month's issue, and you can go online to kcsportspaper.com if you want to look it up online. We've got all sorts of PDFs from the issues that she's written for over the past several years. Now, in this month's article, you address the fact that the holidays are coming, and of course we all know that because when we go to the retail stores, everything's changing over.
I can't believe that we already have stuff out. But.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, and of course you're talking about fitness and health,
right.
You shouldn't derail whatever efforts it is that you have going, even if they're little, whatever efforts you have going to enjoy the holidays, there are ways
Right.
you can still enjoy the holidays.
Right. So, but if you intend to, go back to the gym, because we've just come out of summer. Summer is great. You're outside. There's all kinds of things, and so you don't necessarily you can exercise and not just be inside all the time. So if you have the membership, or if you've been thinking about doing it, start now. Don't wait until the week before Thanksgiving, because that's not going to happen. And so you really want a good habit. You want a good base of fitness. You want to increase that muscle mass so that you have a lot more fat burning, if you will, for all those sweets and stuff you're going to have over the holidays. So you really do want to have a good base. Once you're used to going, it's hard to make the habit, but once you're in the habit, it's a lot easier to stay. Also, there's a whole lot more stress going on with the holidays, with extra everything. And so exercise is such a great manager for stress. And so it's good to have that in place. It's also good to have that downtime, some me time, that kind of thing. You don't want to be overtired, because what happens is you're going to get, and you're going and going and going. You have the one great big party that you want to go to for the holidays, and now you're sick. It's like, try and stay ahead of the game. One of the suggestions that we make is, if you're going to the big dinner and you don't think that there will be any healthy options, offer to the host if you would, if it's okay if you bring something. Now, bring enough for everyone, but make it some sort of a healthy option, so that you have something to eat, because you'll get, especially. I end up going to a lot of things after work, and then and it's dinner time, and so you're hungry, and if you don't have anything, then you always, are tempted by the unhealthy options. But if you have something healthy, a lot of times it's easier to stick to the plan.
Now, another thing that you can do is, speaking of plans, is have an alternative plan. If you're normally going out and walking, or normally going to the gym, and you're going out of town,
right?
Come up with another plan.
Absolutely. You can, you can always do sit-ups and push-ups, because they only take as much as your body space. You can just, you can stand in one place and do just bends, where you just bend your knees, that kind of thing. Walking, of course, is great. And as a family, you can go out after Thanksgiving dinner and just take a walk around and see everything and help everything digest. And walking is usually something you can incorporate somewhat. You don't really have to have extra equipment or anything like that. And like I said, those sit-ups and push-ups, you don't need anything. You just show up. There they are. All you got to do is lay down. So
for sure. Now, one of the things that Kansas City Chiropractic has done this year is you celebrated your 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
You've featured, and we've featured them in Kansas City Sports and Fitness within your articles. You featured 10 different charities over a 10-month time period.
Yes.
That you've worked with and raised money for and things like that. What's the charity that you have going for, I think it's November, that you're really setting up to do with them?
Yes.
And then we've got about 4 minutes or so. Tell us about some of the charities that have been fun to work with.
You know what? This has just been a great year. It's been our 10 years, 10 charities program. And October was Literacy KC, and November is going to be DIFA. It's the Design Industries Foundation Fighting for the Prevention of AIDS. And so it is the only education prevention program in Kansas City. And so they are having their holidays by design. It is November 16th. And so you can go and buy a special piece of art. It can be primarily wreaths, but there's all kinds of holiday items. And it is a great event, a great party. You can find that on their website. I'm sure we have a link to it on ours. And so that raises money to provide programs all over the city. And so that's November, and that's coming up. And like I said, it's such a fun event. It's really a kickoff to the holiday season. It's not the weekend before Thanksgiving, but before that. So it starts off your whole holiday season. It's a great party. It's for a great cause. It really raises awareness. It helps, a huge amount of understanding, like I said, education in all different venues. So because we have probably 10 different charities that this year that are being funded with that.
Yeah, and who are some of them? Actually, that event is November 16th.
Yes.
And, you can find out a little bit more on Dr. McIntosh's website. But who are some of the charities? We've only got about two minutes or so, but who are some of the charities that you've really, really, really enjoyed working with?
I'll tell you, the YMCA Challenger program was fantastic. Literacy KC is amazing. They do such great work. We had the Harvesters, of course. We did Salvation Army's Children's Shelter. This is one of the few places that there is available for children, infants to 17 years old. Shepherd Center, which is for elderly adults, did a lot of Meals on Wheels programs. We did, of course, DIFA, which is I'm on the board for that organization. Mm-hmm. The WIN for KC, the Women Intersport Network, putting on camps for girls to introduce them into all kinds of sports. And I know I'm missing someone, the PEO Scholarship Foundation, and so that's providing scholarships. With the Gifted program, we had the Robotics Challenge. That was so interesting. Oh, my gosh, the things these kids came up with, I was unbelievably impressed. They had, each year it comes out with a different challenge. So what I really came away with was the amount of charity possibilities, the amount of involvement that Kansas City has, and there are just hundreds of wonderful organizations. So I would really, it makes you feel better to get out and see that you have some options, and that if you want to give back to your community, and that's really what we did with the 10 Years, 10 Charities, is I wanted to give back to Kansas City because it's been so good to me, and just to be involved in your community and help somebody. I don't care who it is, just help somebody. And there's a way, it doesn't matter what your interest is, there is an organization out there for you to be involved with that.
For sure. So, Dr. McIntosh, if people want to reach you, what's your phone number again?
816-753-4600, kansascitychiropractic.com or Facebook.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming on out to the ice rink here. You've been here numerous times. We appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break. You're watching or listening to Good Sports, the KC Sports and Fitness Magazine show. We are coming to you from the Kansas City Ice Center, located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. I am Steve Fish. We'll be right back. Sign up now for Learn to Skate and Learn to Play hockey classes at the Kansas City Ice Center. Plus, come out to a public skating session or call them to schedule a party or group rental. And watch for news on when the outdoor pavilion will be converted to an ice rink in mid-November. The KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. For more information or to register for a camp or class, visit kcicecenter.com or call 913-441-3033. Is Is muscle tightness causing back pain? Could increasing your flexibility improve your performance? The Flex Assist is the safe and relaxing way to improve your flexibility. With the Flex Assist ergonomic design, you can complete your stretching routine quickly and comfortably in just minutes a day. So whether you're an athlete or would just like to maintain good flexibility and reduce stress and pain, the Flex Assist can help. Order your Flex Assist today and save $30 with this special $69.95 introductory offer at theflexassist.com. Mafia's Meal on the Go is a great lunchtime choice. Get a 10-inch one-topping pizza and a 20-ounce drink from Mafia Mike's at 87th and Lackman and Mafia Pizzeria Southside at 127th and Metcalf. Great pizza and a great offer you can't refuse. Experience a touch of the Ozarks when you tee off at Winterstone Golf Course in Independence. Visit winterstonegolf.com for daily specials and call 816-257-5755 for lessons or information on tournament hosting. Discover, shop, and win at Cargo Largo. Stop by at 35th and Nolan Road in Independence and go online at cargolargo.com. Cargo Largo, a retail store, and so much more.
With the current trend to live a greener lifestyle, many people and businesses now recycle their electronics. At the Surplus Exchange, your e-waste will never go to a landfill or incinerator, nor will we allow e-waste to be shipped overseas. Some companies employ this tactic and end up polluting other countries with our waste. All materials are safely tracked, destroyed, or reclaimed right here in the U.S. The Surplus Exchange is Kansas City's link between industry, charity, and the environment. To find out more, visit surplusexchange.org.
Welcome to Old Shawnee Pizza and Italian Kitchen. Yep, there's nothing like the homemade taste of an Old Shawnee Pizza. Dine in or carry out. Old Shawnee Pizza with 3 locations.
Mark Twain, Walt Disney, even Abraham Lincoln, they all filed bankruptcy. Debts can overwhelm anyone. I'm Jeff Wagner of WM Law, Kansas City's premier bankruptcy law firm. If you can't pay your bills or your mortgage, we're here to help. You can schedule a free consultation right now. Call 1-855-DON'T-WORRY. Stop those bill collectors. With 4 Kansas City locations, we've helped over 11,000 families through tough financial times. 1-855-DON'T-WORRY.
Lights, camera, action! Would you like to have your business be the site where we shoot one of our good sports, TV, and radio shows? Well, you can. Your show will play 21 times on Sure West Channel 7. You'll get radio and TV commercials all month long, plus an ad for your business in KC Sports and Fitness Magazine, and a whole lot more. TV remote packages start at just $333 a month. For more information on this great TV, radio, and print opportunity for your business, call KC Sports at 913-764-2050. Welcome back to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show, the show that complements Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. I am Steve Fish. Today we're coming to you from the Kansas City Ice Center, located on Johnson Drive, 2 miles west of 435, where you can now ice skate on their indoor rink or inline skate on their outdoor pavilion. You can call 913-441-3033 or visit their website, kcicecenter.com, for more details on classes, public skates, and more. Plus, you can find out more about their leagues and learn to skate and learn to play hockey programs on their website as well. And watch for news on when the outdoor pavilion will be converted over to an ice rink. It is coming up in mid-November. Now, this segment of Good Sports is brought to you by the Surplus Exchange, where you can take a tax donation credit, plus help KC students when you recycle your electronics and office furniture at the Surplus Exchange. For more information, visit surplusexchange.org or call 816-472-0444. And in upcoming weeks on Good Sports, next Saturday, we'll actually be back out here at the Kansas City Ice Center. That's October 19th. KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. And on October 30th, we'll be at Mafia Pizzeria Southside, located at 127th and Metcalf, for the Mafia Classic Carr Show. So come on out and join us, and you might see yourself on TV. And now joining us on Good Sports is Jim Carr. He is the president and CEO of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, also known as the NAIA, which is located right here in Kansas City. Welcome to the show, Jim. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Steve. Good to be here.
First off, let's start with some basic questions. How long has the NAIA been around, and how long has it been here in Kansas City?
We actually started here in 1937 as a basketball tournament. At the time, We were called the NAIB, National Association of Intercollegiate Basketball. And then in the 50s, added other sports and became known as the NAIA. And the organization has been in Kansas City that whole time with a brief hiatus down to Tulsa, Oklahoma for about 8 years in the 1990s.
Okay. Now, how many schools are a part of the NAIA? I looked on your website, and it's just got a massive number of schools.
Yeah, around 260 schools in about 44 states across the country.
Okay, so what's the farthest state, and what's the, obviously the closest is right here in Kansas and Missouri, but what's the farthest?
Yeah, the farthest, I guess it depends on, I don't know if my geography is so good to tell you that, but we have a lot of schools out west, so California and up through the state of Washington and Oregon, and then a few schools in the Northeast. Most small schools in the Northeast are in NCAA Division III, but we do have some schools up in New York and Maine.
How many conferences are in the NAIA? Obviously here we're most familiar with the Heart of America Athletic Conference, which includes which colleges, and then what other conferences?
Yeah, we have 23 total, again, around the country. The Heart of America Conference is here in Kansas City.
Wow, 23, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of schools to keep up with. The Heart of America, the local schools are Baker, Avila, Benedictine. Park is here. They're not in the Heart of America, but Park University is part of the NAIA as well. Mid-American Nazarene is in the Heart of America. You move over to the east with schools like Evangel and Springfield and Missouri Valley, and so a number of schools in this, mostly in Missouri, but a couple in Kansas. And then the KCAC, which is the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference, has all 10 of their member institutions throughout the state of Kansas.
So we're talking with Jim Carr. He's the president and CEO of the NAIA. How many sports generally are supported? I know each school is not going to have the same number of sports, but how many sports are supported through the NAIA?
We have 23 national championships. It's a little confusing because we have 2 divisions in basketball, but so it gives us basically 21 sports, but with 23 national championships for men and women. And
the student ratio of athletes to students at those schools is really quite high, and I know one of the pluses, and we talked about this before we went on the air, that I like is the NAIA really focuses on the student athlete as well.
Yeah, that's critically important at our schools for student athletes to be just like regular students who just happen to excel in something outside of the classroom, so they participate in intercollegiate athletics. It's a wide range. Some of our schools only have 8 to 10% of their students as athletes, but some have 60 or 70%. And so the KCAC that I mentioned before, some of those schools out in Kansas may only have 800 students, and 300 or 400 maybe student athletes. But because the institution operates their athletics programs in a way that's consistent with the mission of the institution, and as you said, make sure that they are real students and they're first and foremost to get an education, it tends to work out pretty well.
And most of the schools, are they Division III or II or I? And how's it all mixed together?
Yeah, we're a completely separate organization from the NCAA. So when you think of the NCAA, they have a Division I, II, and III. But in the NAIA, essentially we have one division in every sport except basketball. And we have 2 divisions in basketball. As I mentioned before, we got our start as a basketball tournament, so almost all of our schools have basketball, and we've created 2 different divisions, which essentially is just separated by the number of scholarships. Division I school in the NAIA for both men and women can give up to 11 full scholarships, and in Division II of the NAIA, it's limited to 6.
I gotcha. So obviously the basketball tournament is what we know best here in Kansas City. The basketball tournament's been going on for about how long?
Well, since 1937, so
wow.
I believe we had our 75th anniversary 2 years ago, so this will be the 77th. And it's Kansas City just is the perfect place for our tournament. People that I run into or know very well talk about getting out of school and going down with Dad to tournaments in the 50s and 60s, and even some Larry Lady, who's the commissioner of the Heart of America Conference, has been to 60-plus tournaments in a row. And wow. One of my favorite couples in the world, Buck and Betty Farmer, have attended more than 60 tournaments in a row, over 2,000 games, only missed 1 game in that span. Unfortunately, we lost Betty here recently, but hopefully we'll have Buck back out at the tournament in March. But people like that in Kansas City make this tournament what it is, and we're still drawing about 40,000 fans each year, and so it's great for small college athletics. Kids are playing as hard as they are at any level, and it's great to have that support and people out there that really appreciate it. You
battle the NCAA here in Kansas City and some of the March Madness stuff. How do you pull the audience for that, because there are so many K-State fans, Mizzou fans that are going to come to the games at the Sprint Center? How do you battle them?
Yeah, I'm not sure we want to battle them, but we certainly want to try to draw
for their dollars.
Exactly.
Their dollars.
And it's not only the MU, KU, and K-State fans, but with NCAA tournament being what it is, people take off work for a couple of days, they shut down, they go to sports bars, so it is battling that entertainment dollar. And back in the 50s and 60s, when the NAIA tournament was selling out municipal, you didn't have a game, 5 or 6, maybe 10 or 15 games on TV every night, and so it's not just the NAIA, but in general, college basketball is having a difficult time drawing people out. Of course, Allen Fieldhouse and I think over at Mizzou and probably at K-State might be exceptions rather than the rule. It's attendance is declining, so we are working very hard. We're fortunate to have people like you help us get the word out about the tournament. But just really word of mouth in Kansas City is the best way, and because once we get people down there, especially with kids, people tend to come back. But it's a matter of getting them down to municipal at a time when there's a lot of other stuff going on. But we're working hard at it. Social media and all various kinds of new media are really helping us out.
And nothing beats watching a game live.
Absolutely.
You can watch it on TV and all that, but to be there live and see the strength and the power of the individuals and the skill level and how far the basket really is away and how small the hoop is. You see it on TV and you kind of go, oh, that's easy. Everybody can do that. But live, you see how big and powerful these young athletes are.
Exactly. And at the NAIA tournament, even though we have 4,000 or 5,000 people down there per session, especially for kids, there are plenty of ways to get kids down close to the court. We also have Chambers of Character sessions where we invite kids in to interact with our student athletes, and it's just amazing to me to watch our student athletes and the personal contact and relationships they make with these young people. And so it's a very different feel than going down to the Sprint Center. At the Sprint Center, it feels a little more like an NBA game almost because you're very restricted as to where you can go and what you can do. And at the tournament, we obviously keep people off the court, but other than that, we want people right down there and really enjoying it. We have an honorary coach program where citizens and or companies can sit on the bench with the teams and really experience what it's like to play in a tournament. That doesn't happen really any other place.
That's right. Well, we're talking with Jim Carr. He's the president and CEO of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, the NAIA. Now, you've got a very special event that's coming up on November 6th, I believe. Fill us in on what that event is and what's going to be happening that day.
Yeah, we're very excited. We're going to have Tom Osborne, who was a 3-sport athlete at Hastings College, one of our schools up in Nebraska. And I ran into Coach Osborne a few years ago, actually at the Big 12 tournament, and I knew he had played football and ran track at Hastings. But when I stopped and visited with him, he pointed out that he played in the NAIA basketball tournament as well. So 3 sports, and he was just a great athlete there. And then, of course, most people know he went on to great fame as the University of Nebraska football coach and AD, and then was a congressman for about 6 years. And so we're just very fortunate to have him agree to come in and help us kick off this inaugural fundraising luncheon for our Champions of Character program. And that program started about 10 years ago, really was a way for us to tell the world why we think the NAIA is different, why we think it's special, and it's because we being our coaches and our administrators for 75 plus years built people of character through athletics as part of the mission of their institutions. And so we want to celebrate that, and now we have resources and really ways in which our schools can do it in a more formal way. And we're also spreading that into the various communities that our schools serve. So this luncheon will go to raise dollars for that. The Sprint Foundation is our underwriting presenting sponsor. So if people can come out for that, every dollar of the proceeds goes directly to programming here in Kansas City and nationally.
So it's November 6th. Where is it going to be located? What time is it? How can people get tickets?
Yeah, it's November 6th. It's a luncheon, so from 11:30 to 1. Tickets are available on our website, NAIA.org. There's a prominent button that'll send you to the luncheon. Tickets are $100. Tables are available for $1,000. We still have a few sponsorships available, but we have a number of great sponsors who have stepped up already, and so it's going to be a fantastic luncheon. Probably have about 500 people at the convention center downtown, and so we'd love for anybody to come down and check it out.
And you're going to honor, there's going to be 5 awards. You're going to honor a high school student athlete of the year, college student athlete of the year, citizen of character, company of character, and a coach of character. How are you going to, what's the selection committee for that?
Yeah, it was a mix of people in the community, a few that have been supporters of ours for a long time, and then a few staff members. And so those have been chosen. We haven't announced those yet.
Shoot, I didn't get.
Yeah, maybe we'll come back on the show and announce those.
Yeah.
But it's a great lineup, and I can tell you that 4 out of the 5 are local. The student athlete the college student athlete is from an NAIA school and not local, but we're excited. There's just great stories to tell, and as we were talking about earlier, sometimes people don't get recognized that are doing the right things in sports, that are celebrating the student athletes and building their character, and not as worried, or certainly not the only thing that they're thinking about is wins and losses. So we want to celebrate those people that are doing the right things in sport.
And, of course, yeah, as you said, you're honoring the culture of sports in our community. Obviously that's the criteria that you use to select those people. Obviously it's a fundraiser. Again, give us the place that people can go to get tickets for that.
Yeah, go straight to our website at naia.org and can get tickets there online, or certainly can call our office at 816-595-8000. And we'd be glad to help you and navigate you through that. November the 6th, luncheon from 11:30 to 1.
So we're talking with Jim Carr. He is the president and CEO of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. You mentioned Champions of Character as a part of this luncheon, but your Champions of Character program extends way beyond that, all the way down to the high school level and the parent level and all that kind of stuff. Give us a quick look at what the Champions of Character program is.
It starts first and foremost with our members. If we're going to say the NAIA is about Champions of Character, and that's who we say we are, then we have to live that first. So we have a number of areas, and won't go into detail on that, but around conduct and competition, to make sure when people show up for NAIA events that they see our student athletes living that on the court or on the fields. A number of ways that those student athletes can get involved in their own communities, and then we extend that under the high school market. We run a lot of pilot programs here in Kansas City and provide resources so that our schools can try to replicate that in their own communities. One of the most popular events is our Teaming Up for Character program in conjunction with the basketball tournament in March. We bring in 4,000 or 5,000 young people ranging from grade school through high school, and they get an opportunity to interact with our student athletes and talk about what the 5 core values of integrity, responsibility, respect, servant leadership, and sportsmanship, what that looks like in a student athlete. And so it's one thing for one of us to get up and talk to a bunch of young people about that, but if they see a 6'8" power forward that they've seen play or will get to play, and that guy is telling them, what I do on the court's important, but what I do outside the court and in my own teams, outside of sports, in my family, in my church, in my community, in my school, that's really what's the most important thing.
So the tournament is coming up. The basketball tournament's coming up. It's really kind of a test of endurance. I think it should be a reality show. Actually, if you could do it backwards, where you knew who the winning team was and you could put together a show with them. I mean, I think you got 6 days, 5 wins. Is that correct? And you just have to. It's just a test of endurance. Tickets are available coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, and you can go to our website again, NAIA.org, and find out more about the tournament. Individual ticket sales will go on sale in January. We can make all tournament tickets available through our website or through calling our office again at 816-595-8000. But yeah, March 19th through the 25th, and there are just all kinds of great things going on. Of course, great basketball, but things around the tournament. And as you said, 5 wins in 6 days. It's if you think about comparing it to other tournaments where it takes 3 or 4 weeks to play out that many games, it is a test of endurance, and you have to, like any tournament, be a little bit lucky, but be very good and be very deep on your bench.
So who won it last year? I don't remember, and who won it the year perhaps the year before?
Yeah. Who did? Blanking on that. Georgetown College out of Kentucky won last year. They've been a perennial power. Concordia College or Concordia University out of Southern California won the year before that. And so they've been a couple of the perennial powers year in and year out.
What teams usually make from Kansas City? What teams usually make the 32 that you select?
Yeah, Mid-American Nazarene has made a couple of good runs. Back 5 or 6 years ago, they made it all the way to our Final Four. Evangel out of Springfield has been really good. Baker was in it last year. Park has had some good teams that have made it in it. So usually some good local flavor, and hopefully some of those teams will be in so we can get the local folks that went to those schools excited.
Absolutely. So your background, actually, you've been with the NAIA. I think we talked about you've been in this position since 2006, but you've been with them for quite a long time.
Yeah, a little over 15 years. Hard to believe. Sometimes seems like it was just yesterday. Other times seems like I've been there for a long, long time. But started out as COO and general counsel, and then became president in 2006. And I played small college basketball down in Mississippi, where I grew up at Millsaps College, and it really is it's in my blood. I think it's the right level of athletics. We're seeing so much change going on right now in intercollegiate athletics, but there'll always be a place for the NAIA and the balance between education and athletics, and so it's a place that I have a lot of passion for.
Again, Jim, give us your website and details on the luncheon that's coming up on November 6th.
Yeah, you can go to www.nai.org to find out more information. But our luncheon is November the 6th from 11:30 to 1 down at the Convention Center in downtown Kansas City. And get a chance to hear Tom Osborne talk about something he's an expert on in sportsmanship and character building. And one thing that I didn't mention before is that the Chiefs and the Royals and Sporting KC are all on board. We have 3 honorary co-chairs, and Mark Donovan, Dayton Moore, and Rob Heineman. And we thought it was important to get those guys involved, because it's not just something that's important at the youth level or at the small college level. It's even important at the highest level. So they're excited about being on board, and we thank them for that.
Well, Jim, I want to thank you for joining us today and coming out. And we want to obviously talk a little bit more as the basketball tournament comes up. We want to have you back on for that. But right now, that'll do it for our show today. I want to thank our hosts for today's show, the Kansas City Eye Center, and our guests, Dr. Lynn McIntosh from Kansas City Chiropractic and Jim Carr from the NAIA. Be sure to join me, Steve Fish, again next week at the same time for Good Sports, Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show, and check out some of our other shows on YouTube. Search for the Good Sports KC channel. So until next week, be sure to read all about sports, health, and exercise in Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. You'll find it all over Kansas City, and it's free, so pick it up today. These days, we're all so busy, and many of us ignore our health and let stress turn into chronic pain. Dr. Lynn McIntosh of Kansas City Chiropractic can provide you with the proper care to relieve pain and stress and improve your health and get more out of life. To make an appointment with Dr. McIntosh, call 816-753-4600. Most insurance plans are welcome. And this month, save $25 on Class 4 laser treatment when you mention KC Sports and Fitness. For more information on Dr. McIntosh and Kansas City Chiropractic, go online at kansascitychiropractic.com. Is muscle tightness causing back pain? Could increasing your flexibility improve your performance? The Flex Assist is the safe and relaxing way to improve your flexibility. With the Flex Assist ergonomic design, you can complete your stretching routine quickly and comfortably in just minutes a day. So whether you're an athlete or would just like to maintain good flexibility and reduce stress and pain, the Flex Assist can help. Order your Flex Assist today and save $30 with this special $69.95 introductory offer at theflexassist.com. Join the NAIA Champions of Character for their inaugural awards luncheon on November 6th. The event honors top athletes and citizens of character and features a keynote address by former Nebraska football coach Tom Osborne. Visit NAIA.org or call 816-595-8117 for details. Bring basketball fever to your own backyard or driveway with your very own game court from Sport Court of Kansas City. Let Sport Court come and install a basketball game court at your home. Game courts can also be installed for volleyball, racket sports, soccer, tennis, or roller hockey. So sink that basket at the buzzer and have your own Final Four at home in your backyard or driveway Sport Court. For more details, call Sport Court at 913-963-7529 or visit sportcourtkc.com.
Welcome to Old Shawnee Pizza and Italian Kitchen. Yep, there's nothing like the homemade taste of an Old Shawnee Pizza. Dine in or carry out. Old Shawnee Pizza with 3 locations.
Eagles Landing Golf Course is the place to play golf in the Southland and is by far the best golf value around. Visit eagleslandinggolfcourse.com. And for tee times, call 816-318-0004 and make the drive to see why Eagles Landing is the best golf value in KC.
Hi, it's the Ball Game co-host Greg Pryor. In 1991, I was introduced to a line of health supplements called Designer Foods that were created by a genius, Dirk Pearson and his wife, Sandy Shaw. Dirk and Sandy wrote the New York Times bestseller, Life Extension, A Practical Scientific Approach. The results that I felt on a few of their designer food formulas was so great that I formed a company, Life Priority, to offer these great formulas to everyone. One of my favorite products in Life Priority is called Lift. Lift is a powdered drink mix that you mix and drink when you have mental fatigue and you want to feel bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I felt the results in about 30 minutes. I wish that I had Lift to use when I was an infielder in Major League Baseball for the Royals. Lift also comes in capsules called Lift Caps. See Lift and Lift Caps and all the great Life Priority products at my website, lifepriority.com. Get your personal rally going. Visit my website, get some Lift or Lift Caps today at lifepriority.com.
The Army Reserve has more than 120 unique career opportunities, so you can add to your current strengths or build brand new ones. Join the Army Reserve and you'll make a difference in your life and the lives of others. Learn more at goarmy.com/reserve. For more information, contact the Greater Kansas City Company at 3720 Arrowhead Drive, Suite B. Telephone number 816-531-3818. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong, paid for by the U.S. Army. Lights, camera, action! Would you like to have your business be the site where we shoot one of our good sports TV and radio shows? Well, you can. Your show will play 21 times on Sure West Channel 7. You'll get radio and TV commercials all month long, plus an ad for your business in KC Sports and Fitness Magazine, and a whole lot more. TV remote packages start at just $333 a month. For more information on this great TV, radio, and print opportunity for your business, call KC Sports at 913-764-2050. Kansas City Sports and Fitness is the magazine for sports fans in KC. Inside, we cover local sports and local teams, from pro to peewee and everything in between. And this month's free copy of Kansas City Sports and Fitness includes the Surplus Exchange College Sports Report. You'll find Kansas City Sports and Fitness all over KC at places like the Kansas City Ice Center. And it's free, so pick one up today.